Thank you so much, Harsh Lodha ji, for your words of insight into the school, South Point School, and for your kind introduction to me. Thank you, Rupa Bhattacharya ji, and thank you to all the officials and the students of South Point School. Um, I won't take too long. I know what truly matters is the prize distribution. And I'll speak briefly on the situation we're in today and how I think India will emerge from this. South Point, in that sense, is a truly is a landmark institution, is an institution which truly stands out. Because often what we are told is that you can either have scale or you can have quality. It's very rare to have both. South Point is one of the largest schools in the world, if I'm not mistaken. Then it actually is listed among the Guinness Book of World Records for a few years when it was the largest school in the world, if I'm not mistaken, some 12,000 students. I'm assuming not all of them are here today. Uh, but it also has produced very high quality alumni, all the way up to Nobel laureates as well. Excuse me, such as Abhijit Banerjee ji. Um, and it shows that if we Indians put our minds to it, we can create institutions that have both scale and quality. And this becomes absolutely more critical in the time that we are in the time period that we are in, the time period that we are faced with. All of us discuss only the COVID pandemic, which no doubt is the pandemic itself may not be the deadliest pandemic in human history, but the reaction to the pandemic, our cumulative reaction is probably the greatest in human history. At no point of time ever has the world literally shut down, the entire world. This has never happened before. And this is not the only truly out of the ordinary thing that has happened this year. We have, just in India, we've had locust attacks coming in from Pakistani side. We have had the worst cyclone in living memory coming up the east coast, which hit West Bengal and Odisha very badly. We have had a cyclone on the west coast. I used to live in Mumbai before I came to London, and I mean, no, in the west coast of India, we can't even remember when the last cyclone was. Maybe more than 100 years. And it's not just India. China is facing the greatest floods in living memory. Australia had forest fires, which the largest forest fires in a century. This year is almost crazy. There are disasters happening one after the other, and our ancestors used to say that there are these periods, these short periods when so many disasters strike one after the other that the entire world changes. Uh, like the First World War and the Spanish flu pandemic, which happened from 1914 to 1919, reordered the world fundamentally. Or the Justinian plague of the 7th century, which reordered the Western world fundamentally. This year, 2020, will reorder the world fundamentally as well. And one of the things that becomes clear in this is that it is not the wealthiest country that will emerge stronger, not necessarily. It's not necessarily the country with the strongest army that will emerge stronger. Because if that was true, then the Roman Empire and Zoroastrian Persia should have emerged stronger from the Justinian plague and the wars of the 7th century. It was actually the Arab world that emerged stronger. So one of the learnings from such eras is that the country which has the most resilient, the most tough people are the ones who emerge stronger in times of uthal puthal like this. Not the country with the greatest wealth or the country with the greatest army. And I think there are few countries that are more resilient and more tough than our own country, India. India is the only Bronze Age culture that is alive till today. Many cultures which started the path to civilization with us, like Egypt, Mesopotamia, Rome, they're all dead. Greece, they're all dead. They're all museum pieces. No one lives those cultures anymore. India is still a living culture. more than 5,000, more than 7, 8,000 years later, we are still a living culture, despite the massive invasions we faced in the last 1,000 years. And I speak of one of those invasions in my latest book, Legend of Suheldev. First, the Turks invaded, and then the Europeans invaded. But 1,000 years later, we are still standing. We are still alive as a culture because we are very resilient, very tough. And that is the quality that I hope to see being produced at South Point School among all you students, tough and resilient, because frankly, no one can predict what is going to hit us this year or over the next few years. Who could have predicted a pandemic like this? Who could have predicted the greatest floods in living memory in China? There's talk that even the Three Gorges Dam might crack. Who could have predicted the greatest cyclone, those Australian forest fires? It's almost an insane year. Those of us who are tough, who are resilient, who can handle anything that life throws at us, are the ones who will emerge stronger out of this. Those are the qualities we must have in our students. Those are the qualities we must have in our country. Those are the qualities we have exhibited for the last 1,000 years. We need to nurture and celebrate those a lot more. With that uh, thought, with those wishes, be tough, be resilient, uh, because when the going gets tough, it's the tough who win. Uh, that thought I want to leave with you guys, and hand the munch, the stage back to Rupa Bhattacharya ji to carry on the rest of the program.